space.
Yo, we back. We back.
We
back. Okay, you got another We Back song?
No.
Guess who's back?
There we go.
Hey.
All right. What up?
Episode 7. This functional family. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are.
Across the globe.
Across the globe. We love you. If you are new to our page and you watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow button. No, not follow on YouTube. It's just subscribe.
Hit the notification bell.
Yeah. And comment. All right?
Good, bad, and ugly. We welcome all the comments.
Good, and good. If you are listening on any podcasting platforms, please make sure y'all like, love, and share the link with people. You know what I'm saying?
Follow. That's where you follow.
Oh, yeah. That's where you follow.
Follow us.
I'm learning.
Follow.
Can we get into this episode, though?
You the one that always be pushing. Don't forget the introduction. Have them follow and like it. And now you want to rush past it? Follow us, please, on your preferred podcasting platform.
Sorry, those are my insecurities screaming out because I was messing up. I was trying to move on because I was starting to feel insecure and I was in a very uncomfortable place.
Whoa,
This got psychological.
Yeah,
real
that
quick.
was deep, real quick.
But we here, yo. Episode 7. Today we are scoffing about, does social media destroy relationships, or is social media actively destroying relationships? Now this came about because I was watching this video on YouTube, came across this video of, I guess he's a vlogger, and he's going through the mall, right? So he's finding couples and he's tracking them down, and he's, I guess, putting people up to the test and saying, are you willing right now on the spot with the camera in front of you and with the mic in front of you, willing to let your partner see your DMs on social media?
Y'all ready to play a game?
Yeah.
Y'all trust each other?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little loyalty test to see if y'all really trust each other. We're gonna switch phones for 60 seconds. Y'all ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. So who's going first? Let's go through his first. Instagram. She already on. Who's
Nah,
that?
what?
Who's that?
Who's that? Your ex, right? You don't know? Okay, so here you go.
You saw like a variance of responses. You saw people that were like, yeah, sure. And he switched it over quick and he goes through with them. He's like, who's this person? And he's like kind of putting them on blast. Yeah. And then they would explain, or the wife or the husband will respond and like, no, I know who that is. Right. And then there were some couples where, people scratching their head like, nah, she already seen everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Let us see it again.
She knows what's going on. So it kind of got, it was interesting because it got me to thinking like, we've had some tips about social media etiquette or social media, like what's appropriate when you're in a committed relationship. And it made me think like social media is actually becoming an unavoidable, inevitable element of relationships that have to be discussed, almost like to the point of like how we have to talk about finance, how we have to talk about credit, how we have to talk about where we want to live, how we have to talk about our faith or our religion. We have to talk about how we want to parent, how many kids we want. We got to talk about how you interact on social media. Like that's a thing that like first dates, you might have to bring that up, like
I don't know
how do you interact on first dates and stuff like that? I mean, on social media and things like that. It's becoming a really important item for couples to address. You know what I mean? What you think?
I wholeheartely agree, but I just don't know if it's like first date worthy because it feels like a little personal. Like
I ain't been on a first date in a while,
I haven't been on a first date like ever. But I mean, yeah. I just don't know, like, if it's first date worthy just yet. I think it will eventually evolve to that place.
For sure.
But right now, like, even, like, credit scores and finances is are super important topics to discuss, but those two, I don't know, like if you really want to talk about that on the first date.
I'm exaggerating. Let's not like harp on the first date thing. I was just saying in general, it's just something that I think it actually has to be discussed on a more serious, concretized level where people are like actually have that as a thing that you and your spouse have to address if y'all gonna move forward on a serious level. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's like hard though, because for us, we're not like we're digital natives. You know what I mean? Like we can remember a life without hard to imagine it, but we can remember life before Facebook, before Twitter and Instagram, Snapchat, even MySpace. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We can remember what life was like before that, but like having to think about that for people who are coming up in a world like millennials now, who well, not really millennials.
Yeah, because we're in the millennial. We fit in the millennial.
On the end spectrum of the
Gen Z, I think.
Yeah, whatever. I can't keep up. Whatever that next generation is right behind us, or even the tail end of millennials, who I think it ends around like 2002 or 2004. Like some of them don't, or have never had life without social media. So it's like for them to have a conversation with someone about something that feels, for lack of a better term, like sacred or really personal to them, like it's part of who they are. It's like, who are you to tell me how to like talk to my friends, or you know what I mean, or who are you to tell me how to communicate? It feels really I don't know, like really invasive in a way, but it's necessary. And I'm not saying that's how I feel. I mean, for people who are living in a world where social media has always existed.
I think that's a very important distinction to make. Like people who can remember social media, a life without it, and then people who grew up on it. But I think that's part of relationships, right? It is invasive, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Sex is about as invasive on your body as you can get, right? Talking about your family or loved one. Can you stop? Talking about your family or loved ones and detail, like how much more invasive can that get? You know what I mean? So I think that's where, if we pivot, let's pivot a little bit, because I think that's where struggles in relationship and the tension and the friction starts to arise, right? So like, there are times where you feel like there's a competition for time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's me, whether you're in like dating or whether you're married, where it's like me versus I, right? I is a little play on, the I generation, iPhones, iPads, right? Like, it's me versus your phone. And there are times where people genuinely get into like really big explosive arguments over like, we've gotten into it before, whereas I don't think we've gotten into like explosive arguments per se, but we've gotten to it before where we've committed to like watching a show together and binging on something, right? Because we haven't spent quality time and the show is starting and like my face is in my phone. Or your face is in your phone, and one of us addresses each other and checks each other like, put that thing down. Like, I don't want to be in competition with the machine. I don't want to be in competition with your operating system. I want you to be with me and be present without the distraction of needing to be, engaged with other things. Now, the question becomes, in your opinion, like, is that selfish? Is that misunderstanding of somebody's, downtime? Like, how do you classify or categorize that? Because I feel like sometimes it could be selfish, but other times I'm like, nah, you with me? Like, we focusing on each other. Yeah,
and this actually just happened to us like 2 or 3 days ago. But I think that like there needs to be a balance, just like with everything in life. Like there just has to be a balance, because social media, like you said, is not totally, but it's in a way it's unavoidable. You know what I mean? Like it's just a part of life that is not going anywhere anytime soon for the foreseeable future. Right. But like if we commit to saying, hey, we're gonna watch this movie tonight, then we're gonna watch the movie tonight. I'm not gonna be telling you, you missed what happened here because you had your face down looking at a tweet. Facts. Don't ask me what happened. I'm not going to tell you what happened. You should have been you should have been watching it. This actually just happened to us too. Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you what happened. Like you should have been watching.
How many times this happened to you?
All right, but we're not doing that right now.
Okay.
But then also on the flip
That's what
side,
they want. They want the drama.
They want the tension.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, also, like if you feel like you're in a space where you need 5-10 minutes to just mindlessly scroll, to get your mind off of the day and just kind of decompress and just unwind, then just be honest about it. Hey, I'm not ready to watch the movie right now. I can't commit to that. And then, it sounds like it's not a big deal, but really it is. Like we're losing touch of like the importance of relationships. Like us watching a movie on Netflix or Netflix binging on a series, like that's it's intimate. You know what I mean? And we can't allow social media to invade our intimate moments. Like, let's be here for each other. Like, either we're going to be honest and say, I need 5 minutes, I need a break. Right. I need my phone. Just let me scroll for a minute and just, or, whatever it is.
Some would argue that, okay, well, you're putting down a screen to look at another screen. What makes that intimate? Y'all are still not connecting with each other. So, like, how would you respond? Like, what makes that intimate? If we're saying, we're going to spend quality time, and then quality time is still in front of a screen, what is the intimacy in that?
I don't necessarily have to involve, and I'm not saying that this is, specifically how I feel. I'm not really, whatever. If we watch a movie, you're watching a movie. But you could say, I don't have to involve you in, if I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see a status or I see some pictures or something, I don't necessarily have to involve you in that, or I don't even have to be like fully present in my phone. I could literally just be scrolling and it's sad. But, we scroll sometimes and don't even digest what we're scrolling, subconsciously. We don't internalize what we're looking at all the time. So if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like I can look at it without it necessarily.
But I don't know if that answers my question. So, like, for me, it's like, if we're saying, okay, we are going to spend intimate time together, or we're going to have some alone time, some us time. And part of that is, hey, disconnect, put your phone down, right? What makes us disconnecting from one screen to look at another screen together intimate? You get what I'm saying? Because you brought that up as like a form of like a form of breaking away from everything else going on. But then we're about to jump on another platform, even though it's not social media per se. It's like a screen. Yeah. And it still doesn't give us the opportunity to connect on deeper levels. So where's the intimacy in that? Is my question.
Yeah.
Well, I would say this. It actually just hit me. Here's what it does do. Because I think even though you don't have the answer, it just hit me as I was asking it. There are times that having moments together creates, how do you put it? I guess it creates connection between the two of you, right? So if we're watching a movie and then there's like something that comes up that becomes an inside joke for us. Now there's more like intimacy if we're at a wedding reception or we're at a friend's party or and we see something that's like, oh shoot. And we could go back and reference that thing. To me, that it's laughter, but it's intimate, right?
Absolutely.
It's between us. And I can even think of a time when we, being transparent, let me do that because this is a relationship/family podcast. There was a time prior to us getting married that we had hit a rough patch where we didn't fully trust each other. And we were working through youth and insecurity. And there were some things that I truly just didn't understand. And I was trying to become more selfish of your time. Okay. Because I was scared that somebody else could take you from me or something like that. Right. And this is me admitting this now. I'm actually working through the thought right now. I never really thought this, but I was kind of being selfish of your time because I was scared that something else or someone else could take it from me. Right. Now, this is pre-marriage. This is young us. And I remember when this website had first come out, I think it was called Dumbest Tweets. Do you remember what it was called? It was like dumbesttweets.com or
I remember the site. No,
it tweets. I don't remember what it was called.
It was actually by she's like a New York Times bestselling author right now. It's like Awesomely Lovey. Her name is Lovey Jones.
But what was
that? Was the site. She had the list of tweets.
Okay, so we used to go through these tweets, right? And we used to find them, like, they had a list of the most grammatically incorrect or the worst spellings and stuff like that. And we legit cried tears laughing going through that stuff. But it was healing for me at a time that I was really struggling with whether or not, transparently, I was going to stay with you. And those moments that we created together. So I guess what I'm saying is the flip side to the social media thing is that there are times where social media, going through stories of somebody that's super duper funny or some valuable content or information, going through those stories actually helps us have conversations. Yo, what do you think about this? Or, yo, check this out. This was hilarious. And we sitting there cracking up together. The girls looking at us like, what's wrong with? So I think the flip side is that there are times where some social media content can create moments to build more glue,
undoubtedly,
and cohesion in our relationship. You know what I'm saying?
We still laugh about the Stevie J.
Oh, Jocelyn says, "Did you ever really love me, Stevie?"
I think that's the first meme you ever fell in
shout
love
out to Love Hip Hop Atlanta. That was the first meme I think I've ever seen. It was just Jocelyn laying in the bed. She's like, "Did you ever really love me, Stevie?" But they spelled it like, "Did you ever really love me?" That thing had me crying. And ever since then, I was like, "What is a meme?" And we just started like going through stuff. So I can honestly say there were times in our relationship that the flip side is that social media built like glue. Good times, things that we can reminisce on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. I want to move a little bit. Okay. Still talking about social media, but I want to move a little bit. So here's the thing. I do think when you get in a relationship, though, there is an etiquette in how you use social media that I think.
People don't want to hear this.
A lot of people don't, because they feel like, oh, I'm giving up my freedoms, I'm giving up my liberties, I'm giving up my right. And it's this certain, and I gotta say it, yo. Our eye gate, our ear gate, it's so sensitive. It's literally passageways to the heart, passageways to the mind, passageways to the spirit. Yeah. And when we start to consume things that, oh no, it's just. Oh, yeah, she just got a good-looking body, so I just hit the tap. I just liked it. And the more your eye gate consumes that, the more you create another image that's not the person you're with. Yeah. And you create a standard for somebody that's not the person you're with that they can't live up to because you keep consuming outside content that you think is like not having an impact on you, but then subconsciously you were in the bedroom with your wife or with your husband. It's like, oh, she don't look as good as I think, or she don't look as. I'm not. No, I'm not. I didn't say. You know, I don't. I'm not even trying to be like high and mighty, but I do not. I don't follow like the raunchy. Listen, I even have friends who are like, we're cool, might consider them my sis. That I got to be careful. Like, I probably shouldn't follow her, not because I have any attraction, but because of the content they post. I just got to be careful because, like, I don't want to. I can't control what somebody posts. Right. I don't want to be seeing you naked or half naked. Like, that's just me. And some people are like, oh, well, you got to control yourself. I'm like, it's not. I can't control. I do control myself. Yeah. But I can't control what somebody else posts. That is how I'm controlling myself. So, like, if I'm constantly taking in content where, you know, where these challenges come out and ladies twerking and stuff like that, or silhouette challenges. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, okay, unfollow. Not because I'm judging your character or what you post. I'm saying for me, as a man in a relationship, I don't need to see
nobody. Nobody's body.
That's me. I don't need to see nobody's body, and likewise, I hope the same for my wife. So I really think, like, if you get in a relationship, the reason a conversation is necessary is because you gotta ask the person, like, yo, what kind of pages you following? Because like you constantly seeing these touched up bodies, these, you know. I'm ashamed. I'm not ashamed of myself, but like I don't want you looking at a bunch of other people in shape that's like kind of like challenging me, and you like, oh, ain't nothing going. You know, a lot of people normalize that, and I don't think that. That's me. I'm talking for me. I don't think that should be normalized if you are committed to one person. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I wholeheartedly agree, and I think going back to the point that you made about people feeling like their freedoms and like just their personal space is being invaded or attacked or in any way. It's just a level, like simply put, it's just a level of respect that you want to have, like for your partner, like married or not. Like if you're committed to someone or intend to be committed to them or trying to take things seriously, like why should anybody else see your body? And this is not, casting judgment or throwing stones at anybody. It's, these are
Keep it
our...
above. I already gave a disclaimer. Talk your talk.
These
your
are our
talk.
thoughts. I just feel like certain things, like we're becoming so desensitized to just seeing everything. Everything is normal. Everything is okay. Everything is free and just not just everything is acceptable. And it's like, well, what do you keep sacred? Like if you're gonna put either if you're gonna put your own body out there or if you're gonna consume other images and content, like what's sacred between you and your partner? Like nothing. Like you leave nothing.
Bombshells.
I don't know. I mean, there just should be a standard. You know what I mean? And it's not to be all, uptight and or holy or whatever it is. Like hold yourself to a certain standard because,
But I do think that has a lot to do with what the rates of the couples that don't make it. I truly think like
and we just think is
a lot of the couple, and don't get it twisted. We've been married 7 years. There are people that 25 years down the line something bad happened, right? So it's like, oh well, they were good for 25 years until something bad happened. So we still got a long way to go, but we've also been together for so long that like prior to being married, that I think we have to assess what kind of content we consume as an individual.
Yeah.
Right? Because what it does is you don't want to sit around playing the comparison game with your spouse and the rest of the world.
Yeah, because now it's plants and seasons. Like, oh well, he got that.
They not enough.
Like, you don't. And it's like, but you've been enough all this time. Now all of a sudden something else. It's kind of like the 80-20 rule. Like you got the 80 for hypothetically speaking. Like you have the 80. I see 20 online that you don't have, and now all of a sudden you're not good enough. And it's like,
right.
You are like they are good enough. You just have to really filter out what you expose yourselves to and
and a lot of that happens through social media, right? It's like even your what you call that page, the Discover page, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it is compiled of things that the algorithm detected you either spent time with, or you commented on, or you saved, or you liked. So then they give you more content. They funnel more content to your eyes and to your ears that sound and look like the content you've engaged with or spent time with in the past on social media.
And it happened. Sorry.
And that has that can literally. Then you start clicking it, right? And then it's like, oh, shoot. So listen, I can't speak for the females or the women, I should say, rather. I can't speak for the women. What I can say for, as a man, as a brother, I want to give this advice to my brothers out there. A lot of you, how do we get better? How do we get stronger? Part of it is go through your social media, clean it up. The people you follow, if it's bringing your mind and your flesh to a place that causes a lack of commitment to the person you're committed to, then you got to step away. Now, if you're a trainer or a massage therapist or something like that, and like you're not moved by that, right? Then that's between you and your spouse. Yeah. I'm speaking specifically to people that have challenges with it. Like there are people that have challenges. They can't help but click and they tongue out. They scroll in, double tap. Oh, scroll in, double tap. And I'm not like. Once again, I'm not casting aspersions about like their character, like they're lesser people. Yeah. What I'm saying is, I want to help you if that's what if getting better in that area is really what you want to do. Part of it, you got to filter out. You got to start cleaning it up. And then forget the sexual stuff, right? Forget like the intake of like other people's bodies and all that. Forget all that, right? Forget the sexuality stuff. Sometimes we consume too much like extravagant things. Not just for like not like just to enjoy it. What I mean by extravagant, because I think we deserve better. We deserve good. We deserve the finest things in life, right? What I mean by that is a lot of times people subconsciously end up comparing their spouse. Well, his proposal wasn't like this because we watching this elaborate proposal from somebody that's a millionaire. They're like, yo,
what he can afford to rent the beach out and close out. And
fellas was getting, what was it, Valentine's Day? Fellas was getting bashed like crazy on Valentine's Day because of what Michael B. Jordan did for like Lori Harvey. I'm like, y'all realize he makes $25 million a movie? It's just not realistic. If you make $80,000 a year, You shouldn't be trying to do something like somebody that makes $25 million a year, right? So like, I mean, a movie. So like I think sometimes to look at it for something to aspire to is completely different than to look at it and like, why she don't do this? Yeah. She don't move like that. Why he don't do this? He don't buy stuff. It's like, think about where you are in life. We got to get back to being content in the space that we are, where our partner is, where I am, where we were when we met each other, and how we're going to collaborate as a team to grow. And if that's what we aspire to do, and we want to get there, then let's get there together. But don't downplay how your spouse did something if they gave their best. And you trying to compare them to Michael B or to I don't know, anybody, right? Or you trying to compare them to somebody that's making millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars, social media influencers, pulling in rakes of money, and you comparing the way they proposed to the way he proposed to you. Is like,
you married him, his proposal had to have been good.
That can't be the same.
And I mean, even more than that, I don't want to stay on this point for too long, but even more than that, we see, the extravagance, but we also see like there's a bunch of drama just following other people's lives, other people's relationships, period. Like you consume all that drama, guess what's gonna happen between you and your spouse, you and your partner? Y'all bound to start boiling up some drama over something that's not that deep, or just finding just stuff that's whatever you consume it's probably going to just trickle out, and you're going to bring that stuff home.
It operates like the body, right? Like if I continue to take in saccharides and sugars and things like that, it break what
saccharides.
Oh, I'm sorry. It turns into sugar. If I continue to take in excessive carbs, it breaks down into sugar. It turns into fat. Like if that's all that's on my diet,
you ain't got no broccoli,
no veggies, no kale, no rainbow,
greens.
no kale, no greens, no, you know what I mean, no tomatoes, no nothing, no alkalinity to the body.
The body's gonna break down. Your relationship is gonna break down. There
you go. You keep taking in sugar just because it's ratchet and you like it. Like it's no problem. It's fine. But then you get in these relationships and you start acting like these people whose relationships are falling apart that you keep consuming. And it's like, if you can consume it and keep it at a level where it's healthy and it doesn't impact your relationship, then do you. But what I found is that a lot of times it is impacting your relationship, and it is causing you to crumble.
It's like a leaky faucet, drip by drip. You may not see it at first, but once that bucket get full, you're gonna look back and try to figure out what each drop was that made that filled the bucket up.
My father always taught me to thank God first thing in the morning, because last night could have been your last night. We don't know when our last breath will be. So if you love somebody, give them their flowers while they can smell them.
So one of the last things is this. I think that we do have to be mindful, though, because I think we have to be mindful of the amount of time that our spouse might spend on social media, and not in a judgmental way where you're always clocking them but not yourself. What I mean by that is sometimes excessive time on social media is more of an indicator of a dissatisfaction with your present life. Almost not, it doesn't necessarily so don't take it personal, because it doesn't have to necessarily be the relationship. It could be I'm trying to escape the neighborhood I'm in. I'm trying to escape this stressful job. I'm trying to escape. I'm dreaming of my dream house and this place is too cluttered. I'm trying to escape that. Or it could be the relationship. You actually get on my nerves more than you realize, right? So that's what it could be. So sometimes excessive dissatisfaction is more of a sign to you as a spouse to say, excessive time, in social media is more a sign for you to say, you know what? Let me do something random. Let's see if we could go out tonight. Let's see if we could go to a restaurant that I promised I would take you. If I got the little piece of change, I'm gonna take you. Yo, you want to go hit the mall real quick? We ain't gotta go heavy shopping. Let's just go walk around, see what we like. Right? There's something. There might be an indicator that is trying to tell you a message or tell you something when you see your spouse spending excessive time on social media. Now it's like, maybe I'm not meeting their need, or maybe there's something else going on in life that I'm not attending to or helping to support with. And I need to step up and do more of my role to support them, because they don't even realize that they're trying to supplement their dissatisfaction with the pleasures
like an escape
and the
room,
addiction,
like
the
this.
escapes of social media.
Yeah.
Exactly. So be mindful of that, and just be careful and intentional about what you're following and who you're following, and make sure the content, if you're trying to get better in your relationship, that the content you're consuming is feeding into where you and your spouse are.
For sure. It's just important. At least something to consider, you know what I mean? Because again, like, we can't escape social media.
Right.
But what we can do is use it responsibly and healthily to make sure that it's not like having a negative impact on our relationships or even just on our personal well-being.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that too. Facts.
I think for my closing point, because I actually did like a thesis about social media in a specific context a few years ago. And Kevin Roose wrote an article for the New York Times called "How I Ditched My Phone and."
Kevin Roose wrote an article. See, when you write a thesis, you gotta talk like a Kevin Roose.
I did not even say that. My guy, Kev.
Shout out to Kevin Roose. I don't know who he is, but shout out to Kevin
Me
Roose.
either. He wrote an article for the New York Times called "How I Ditched My Phone and Unbroke My Brain." And something that he said in the article was, the point isn't to get you off the internet or even off social media. It's simply about unhooking your brain from the harmful routines it has adopted around this particular device and hooking it to better things, right? So just to reiterate that, it's like we know that social media is a part of our generation, right? And it's probably going to be a part of the next generation. But, you know, and to a certain extent, our lives require social networking. You know what I mean? Whether you're an influencer or an entrepreneur or whatever, to a certain degree, like we need social media to make and maintain certain connections. But just to reiterate a fact that was, you know, a point that was made earlier, balance is so necessary. It's so crucial.
Yeah.
Like you said, Tamer, we balance our diet, we balance how active we are, we balance whatever it is. Social media, you can't neglect that. You have to balance it the same way you do any other part of your life. You balance your finances, you balance time with your kids, you balance whatever, everything. Don't neglect social media and think that just because it's on your phone and you have it with you 24/7 that you don't need to, you know, look at it in that same regard.
Yeah.
So
You
that's how I
use these
feel.
apps that's out there, man. Set timers.
Yeah.
You know,
If you need
it can
to.
give you a timer. Yeah, like, all right, that's enough time on Instagram. Let me spend some time, give my kids some FaceTime, give my spouse some FaceTime.
Read a book.
Take
Go-
a walk.
Right.
Get some vitamin D from the sun, you know what I'm saying?
Fresh air. Whatever.
You know the vibes. Yeah, you ready for this or that segment?
We're ready.
Drum roll, please.
All right. It's about to get litty.
Well, I did drum roll after. She already did the drum roll.
He's a wild boy. All right, who's going first?
Me.
Let me see. What's these questions? Because you like to leave me for the wildest questions. All right, whatever. You said you're going first?
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is tough. Wow, this is tough. Wow, this is really tough.
All right. Let's do it.
Would you rather your kid get beat up every day
Okay.
or beats someone else up every day?
This is a wow. Okay.
Oh,
Would I rather my kid get beat up or
Every
beat
day.
somebody else up every single day?
Every day of like their school life. Dang, man. This is tough.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Beat someone else up. Okay.
Yeah, I got the
I'm
same answer.
sorry.
I feel
Yeah,
terrible.
this
is a why'd you made this? Come on, man. This is a violent question. Listen, salute to everybody who's been through bullying and things like that. So I hope this doesn't come off like we condone it. But
No, not at all. Not at all.
man, that's tough.
I just think like the way you can handle it is different because if you look at situations like Columbine, and not saying that every kid that gets beat up is gonna like start a school shooting, but you look at those types of situations and you think that like they bottled up all of this emotion throughout the years and one day it just exploded into a school shooting and they didn't tell anybody like they were being targeted in any way. Whereas if your child is beating somebody else up,
Wow, Amanda.
At least not at least. It just sounds horrible either way you try to.
It's terrible.
You know that there's probably something going on at home or something going on internally with your child that they just need to, work through, get some therapy for, some counseling for. Like, what's happening with you that you're, like, projecting all this anger onto someone else? Like, let me fix you, rather than you get beat up. I probably don't know about it. And I'm sorry.
I mean, here's my thing. Yeah, this is a tough question.
Oh, God. I feel horrible for you.
Yeah, you're damn to break the mood right now. But here's what I will say. To me, it's about what you'd rather nurse. You're either going to have to nurse their body every day. Yeah. From them getting harmed, or you're going to have to nurse their character and their thinking, right? So it's both going to require a lot of attention, just going to both require different types of attention. My fear with the beating someone else up, even though I picked it, it's like my con with that one is like their criminal record. That's gonna, because as they get older, it ain't gonna be, oh, you get detention. It's gonna be like they taking your body to jail. You keep beating
people
up.
You going to juvie.
Yeah. So this was tough, but I just picked the one that doesn't make me look like I have a.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Child.
A punk child.
All right.
Next, would you rather? Would you rather laugh every time you discipline your child? Every time they get in trouble, you just start laughing, like as you discipline them? Or would you rather get angry every time they try to share something with you?
Okay. All right. I'm ready. Ooh, you take a long time to write. Just put laugh or angry. Laugh or angry.
All right. 3, 2, 1. What you put? Laugh. Okay, I'd rather laugh
absolutely.
too.
I think our kids know that, like,
it's not a thing.
That, like, if we're disciplining them, even if we laugh a little bit, they know we're serious about the thing we're correcting. Yeah. Whereas anger, because they're sharing something with us, is like a much deeper,
like they're never gonna come to me for anything else.
Issue. Yeah, this is a really dark this or that. This is getting real deep, bro.
But if you laugh when you discipline them, at least you can go to them afterwards and like just reiterate, why what they did wasn't right while you're not laughing. So you'll be serious.
Angry every time they.
Okay, last one.
This is a dark this or that. Where's the joy?
Last one.
All right, here we go. What? Oh, be failures together or succeed separately? You're wild, and this is some real.
Why you gotta let them know that I put the questions together? Like,
yeah, this episode you put the questions together, and we probably need to talk about what's going on inside, and talk about what's going on in the heart.
I'm ready. Fail together or succeed separately.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Succeed separately.
What?
What?
Forget it.
Wait, what?
You rather have the money and the fame and success without me?
Is this what you want to do right now?
No, we're going to do this right now.
International YouTube television?
Right now.
Or Beyonce's internet. This is what you want to do right now?
This is exactly what I want to do right now. Defend yourself.
Succeed separately? First of all, how vain of you to think success means, ooh, get the money and fame and all this stuff. That's not what success means to me. So I think we got to go through what success means. And success for me has a lot to do with my spiritual thriving and my personal character thriving. When I hear failing together, what I hear, maybe I'm interpreting this differently. Mm-hmm. This goes back to our communication episode. You might want to check that out. All right. What I hear may be different from what you hear. When I hear failing together, that means we're trying to make this relationship work, but we keep messing up and we are toxic for each other. When I hear success, I hear I'm thriving as a whole individual, not I got a bunch of money. So if you're thinking about it we make a bunch of money together or we're broke together, then we have different interpretations of what failure and success is. And
what
that might be why. What you're not going to do is
make me look bad.
I'm not trying. You said you want to do this on Beyonce's internet. So that's what we're doing. Well, Rihanna just became a billionaire. This is Rihanna's internet now. You want to do this on Rihanna's internet.
The Beehive is going to get you.
I'm not scared of no Beehive. I got the blood of Jesus. Ooh. Okay.
I'm not materialistic, y'all. I meant it on the most surface level possible. He just get deep pause too quick, and I didn't mean it like.
So, what is failing together?
Like all of everything we set out to do never really reaches its full potential. So like
something's wrong then. Like we're not good for each other then if we're not growing. But we growing, so it doesn't apply to us.
All right.
Okay. We lit. All right, y'all.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode.
Go cop.
Oh, you know the vibes?
Frida Solos. Clothing.com. Jean jacket.
Hold on. Can y'all see my whole shirt? Oh, my earring came out. Hold on. Ooh.
Yeah, all right, come on.
Wait,
running out of time.
My earring. But I can't be out here on the internet looking crazy. Right.
This is Rihanna's internet. She's a billionaire.
Frida Solos. You see? While I can smell them, these are velvet letters. Available in taupe and dusty plum.
Mm-hmm.
That hit FridaSoulsClothing.com and get that fine.
You already know. And shout out to Tier.
Facts.
You already know. Good looking out.
Gang.
Peace.